Hey, thank you so much.
Thanks, brother.
Appreciate it. So am I on? Can you guys hear me? It's so lovely to be here with you and see some familiar faces. Angel, gosh, I haven't seen you in a while, man. Good to see you, my friend. So in January of 2006, I had an event that changed my life forever. I was, by all objective measures, very successful. I had my own financial advisory firm that I started from scratch 10 years earlier, and I had grown it to $100 million under management. Wore a suit and tie every day. We made our customers a lot of money. I made myself a lot of money. And my whole life revolved around making money. That's really how I derived my self-worth, was how much money could I make. That's what I believed at that time. And then I had an event that completely changed that paradigm forever. In January of 2006, my 34-year-old brother Eric was diagnosed with stage 4 non-small cell carcinoma. That's a deadly form of non-smoking lung cancer. The doctors gave him 9 months to live. Now, if you've ever talked to any of your friends and you've ever had that conversation, what would you do if you were given 9 months to live? What would you do with the rest of your life? Has anybody ever had that conversation with anybody? He was actually given 9 months to live. And what inspired me most about my brother was that during that time, what he wanted to do most was his life's work. See, ironically, just a few weeks earlier, he had received his PhD in molecular biology, and he started a job at the La Jolla Burnham Institute studying lung cancer. And that's what he was diagnosed with. And so we spent the last 9 months of his life, we spent every day with him. We traveled all over the world. I took him to Germany. We went to the World Cup. We had an amazing time. But what he really did was he focused on his life's work because he loved it that much. It had that much meaning to him. Almost 9 months later to the day, he passed away peacefully in our Father's arms. My brother was my hero, and if I could only have a tenth of the courage that he had when he was given that actual diagnosis, I would feel like the bravest man in the world. And it was that event that changed my life forever. I literally cast off my suit and tie. I sold my successful financial advisor business that I started from scratch. I had a couple $1 million. I moved to Costa Rica. I bought a 164-acre rainforest. We literally bought a rainforest. We owned 5 waterfalls, whitewater ocean views. And so I bought this $3 million property with $2 million down so that I could build a wellness community so that no one would ever have to watch their loved ones suffer again the way that we did. Anybody who wanted to could come down to Costa Rica. Thank you. Thank you. Anybody who wanted to could fly down to Costa Rica, stay at our wellness community, heal themselves from within to the best of their body's abilities. And I purchased this $3 million property with $2 million down in 2007. Does anybody remember what happened in 2008? What happened? The global financial crisis. And I was living in Costa Rica, and I was getting really worried that I was going to lose everything that had taken me 10 years to build up this capital and invest in it, and I was going to lose everything. In 2008, were there any banks loaning on properties like this? Were there any way to raise money? There was nothing. No traditional marketing avenues were working, and I tried everything. I put in ads in the New York Times. I hired a team out of India to do search engine optimization. Nothing worked. And then something interesting happened. In 2008, Facebook hit 600 million users. And so I came up with a quick plan. I said, I can't fail. I can't afford to. So I took my 164 acres. I subdivided 7 large lots. They're about 5 acres apiece. I said, I'm going to sell these lots for about $150,000 a piece. And I'm going to find those 7 customers on Facebook. I mean, there's 600 million people, and I only need 7. That sounds like pretty good odds, right? And let me tell you, so I got started doing that, and I made absolutely every mistake that you could possibly make. And I spent tens of thousands of dollars on Facebook ads, and I had one failure after another. But then all of a sudden, I had one success. Out of all the Facebook pages that failed, one of them didn't. My Facebook page called Costa Rica. I quickly figured out a formula to how to grow it to 200,000 likes. We took those 200,000 likes, we drove them to our website. Our website's CostaRicaWellness.com. We drove them to our website, and we built a small email list, 2,500 people. 200,000 fans to 2,500 people. And out of those 2,500 people, we only got 20 people to fly down to Costa Rica from Europe, Canada, and the United States. And we made 7 sales for a total of $1.5 million. We saved the property. We saved the business. Thank you. Thank you. Who here has heard that building an email list can be one of the most valuable things for your business? Who's heard of that? Okay, great. So we just showed, and you don't need a large email list. I just showed you, we built a small email list, 2,500 emails. That's not by any standards a huge list. And from 2,500 emails, we made $1.5 million in sales. So what I'm going to share with you now is who would like to learn how we did that? Yes. Okay, so building your list is absolutely, if you've ever heard that from anybody before, your list is the most valuable thing, absolutely, positively, building your email list is the most valuable thing for your business. And we've discovered through all the trial and error that we did, we discovered the formula to how to build an email list, how to build an email list quickly, efficiently, and effectively. And it looks something like this, all right? So, who's heard of a lead magnet? Raise your hand if you've heard of that term. All that is, it's a fancy way of saying it's a free gift that you're going to give away on your website in exchange for someone's email address. Okay? It's a lead magnet. So sometimes we refer to email addresses as leads. Okay? So if you want to build your email list, you have to have some way to get people to give you their email address. And the way to do it is to have a free gift or a lead magnet. And so what I did was I came up with a way of how to most efficiently get the email addresses and build a lead magnet. So who's heard of trying to build email addresses by having people subscribe to your newsletter? Who's heard of that? Who knows it doesn't work anymore? Okay, that stopped working in about 1998. So it hasn't worked for a long time, so we have to do something different. We have to give people a really good reason, some really good value in exchange for their email address. And what I discovered is that there's a very simple formula to it. So I'm laying out a chart. This is basically a matrix of how to get a high converting lead magnet or your free gift, okay? So what we have here is high demand, we have low demand, all right? So this is the vertical axis, high demand. So on high demand are things like webinars. And what do we have over here? High demand, things like webinars and things like a spreadsheet or a template or a download. That's on high demand. So if you're getting people to opt in for a webinar or a spreadsheet, those are really good leads. Those are hot leads. On the low end of the spectrum, what doesn't work very well to get email addresses are things like a free consultation or an ebook. Free consultation or an ebook. Now, we use these things, we use free consultations, we use ebooks, but not for getting email addresses. Why? Why does this not work? What is a free consultation? Sales call. Who wants to get on a sales call? Right? It doesn't convert very well, okay? But we do use free consultations. We can use them strategically and effectively, just not to grow your email list. Let's go to the other axis. So this one is hard to consume, and this one is easy to consume. And now I'm talking about your customers. How do your customers view this? So on this side, the left side of the spectrum here, we have video trainings, okay? So have you ever gone to a website, you've seen maybe, who's heard of Jeff Walker? Has anybody heard of Jeff Walker before? Have you ever gone to a website and seen like a 3-video series and you need to watch all those videos in order to get the content and the information? Now we might think that that is easy to consume because, well, somebody just has to sit there and watch the videos. How easy is that? But think of your customer. Let's put your customer's hat on for a second. Imagine your customer. Imagine you go to your website or somebody's website. They see 3 videos. Each of them are 45 minutes long. There could be the best information in the world, and somebody's going to say, you know what? I just don't have the time. That's hard to consume. And their perception is what matters here. If they think it's hard to consume, it doesn't convert very well. Okay, so let's go on the other side of this spectrum. What is easy to consume? Or what do our customers think is easy to consume? Well, templates and toolkits. So templates and toolkits, okay? So things that make your customer's life easy. things that save them time. The highest demand, the things that are in the highest demand are when you have a free gift that can solve your customer's number one problem. If you have a free gift that can solve your customer's number one problem, that is in very high demand. If you can also make this, if you can solve your number one's problem and you can do it in a way that your customer think is easy to consume, then you can make it work very well. Can we go to the next slide, please? So let me just zoom in here. All right. So what we want to do is if you want to build your email list, you want to put your content up here in this upper right-hand quadrant. Okay. So you want your customers to see this, and when I say see it, it's probably on your website or on a web page that you created. They want to see this, and they want to see solves my problem and it looks easy to consume. All I got to do is click, download it, and bam, I got it. Start using it. Well, what kind of things can we put there that have really high conversions, that are high demand and high conversions? Well, they look like this. Fill in the blank. Anything that solves your customer's problem and they can fill in the blank, that is awesome. Download or an action checklist. Solve my problem with an action checklist. Very high conversions. It works very well. Solve my problem with a template. Give me a 60-second plan that can really make a big impact and really solve my problem. You're going to get lots of email addresses and build your list quickly because that's in very high demand. Give me a top 10 resources. Give me a 7-step formula. Have anybody ever seen a 7-step formula to anything? Why do you see that? Because it works. Because your customers think that it's easy to consume. It does still have to solve their number one problem, but if they think that it's easy to consume, they'll download it. Copy and paste anything. Save me time, save me money, write it for me, just let me copy and paste it, and then that converts very well. Marketing calendar, a productivity planner, top interview questions, for example. Can we go to the next slide, please? So let me just give you a couple of examples. So we own a Facebook advertising agency. That's one of our businesses. And we run Facebook ads so that one of the reasons why we run Facebook ads is to help build our email list. But I like to do, I'm pretty lazy. I like to build the email addresses automatically. I like to set it up once, turn the ads on, and let the list grow. So I don't mind doing the work up front, just so long as it's going to grow on the back end. So here's an example of one of our lead magnets, so one of our free gifts. We got almost 2,000 email addresses, 1,959 email addresses, at a little over $1 a piece. That's actually very, very good if we can take that and then turn it into $10,000 in sales, right? That's a nice, big, positive return on our investment. Can we go to the next slide? So that was a template. Here's another example. Here's a free download. So these things solve a problem and they're easy to consume. In this case, it's a free marketing calendar. So what's the big problem? It's the big problem that if we're an entrepreneur, we're a business owner, we're overwhelmed, we don't have a lot of time, and there's too many things to do. Well, here's a marketing calendar that's already pre-populated. You just download and plug and play, and you get started with your marketing, your online marketing. We got 2,200 email addresses out of that one for about $1.08 a piece. Again, we went on to turn that into about $15,000 in sales from our coaching programs and our information products. Okay, who likes that? Who likes this idea? Okay, where you can just have your own list building machine. Let's go to one more, last slide in this series. Here's another example. Here's a template. This is a viral Facebook post template. So over the last 9 years, we've got 3 Facebook pages with a total of 2.4 million likes on our Facebook pages. I went through these Facebook pages and I curated our top 15 all-time most viral posts. I put them up in a PowerPoint slide and allowed people to download it. Who would like to have my top 15 all-time most viral posts automatically for download that you could just fill in the blanks, right? Okay, so that generated almost 6,000 email addresses, 5,905, at about $1.52 a piece. It's a list building machine. Who likes the idea of having their own list building machine, okay, where it just is done for you? Okay, let's go to the next slide. So how does this work? So we're going to do a quick little exercise right now. So let's take a look at some of these examples here. of how this works. So one of my friends and mentors and companies that I've followed for a long time, his name is Ryan Dice. He's got a $40 million a year company called Digital Marketer. And I went and looked at what are their top performing lead magnets. Here's an example. The 7-step formula for generating more sales by sending fewer emails. That's a lead magnet. He got over 35,000 email addresses with that one lead magnet. Okay, here's another one. The 60-second blog plan. Okay, here's another one. Fill in the blank Facebook ad template. The ultimate social media swipe file. Blog post template. All of these are individual lead magnets that all live in that upper right-hand quadrant that I just mentioned. And with those 7 lead magnets, they got over 200,000 email addresses. So they've been growing their list with this list building machine that I was talking about. So we're going to do a quick exercise. So go to the next slide, please. So here's the formula, okay? So we're going to fill this out together. So please take out a piece of paper. It looks like most everybody has a piece of paper. Here's the formula, because we're going to do this together. So we're just going to do the first one. The 7-step formula for generating more, and here's the magic, of what your customers want by avoiding and doing less of what they don't want. Okay, I'm going to repeat that one more time. This is a 7-step formula for generating more of what your customers want by avoiding pain or doing less of what they don't want. So right now, I want you to fill in these blanks. So right now, this is the blanks that you need to fill out. So you write down the words, 7-step formula for, and then you fill in the blank. What's the 7-step formula that you can do that your customers want more of by doing less of what they don't want? Okay? And I would love to hear, when somebody's done, please raise your hand so I can, and I would love to hear what you have written down. It's a 7-step formula for generating more of what your customers want by doing less of what they don't want. Is this making sense? Yeah? You guys getting this? Who would like, I would love to see a show of hand. Who has one that we can do an example? Go ahead in the back. Let's hear it. To get out of what? The 7-step formula to spend less time in the gym, but wasn't there something before that?
Yes, to get out of back pain.
Oh, to get out of back pain. The 7-step formula to get out of back pain by spending less time in the gym. That's perfect. That's exactly, who likes that idea? Does anybody have back pain? Who wants some of that? You're going to get opt-ins from that. Who has another one? Let's hear it. Who has another one? That was perfect, by the way. That was great. Anybody else want to try? I'm happy to help. Yeah, go ahead. Let's hear it. 7 steps to building a collaborative community, awesome, by doing less of what? By spending less time? Networking. By doing less networking. 7-step formula to build a collaborative community by doing less networking. Who wants some of that? Yes, that's perfect. Do you guys see how this formula works? Go ahead.
I did one from the college market where it's perform better on tests and study in half the time.
Perform better on tests in half the time of studying half the time. Who wants some of that? That's perfect. That's exactly the formula. Are you guys getting this? Do you see how enticing that is and how easy that is? That's your list builder. That's your list builder. That's your list builder. That's your lead magnet, okay? Does this, is anybody else want to try? Okay, here's what I'm going to do. With your permission, may I offer you a free gift? Would that be okay? All right, so I have a free gift for you. I am from San Diego. We're doing a live event called Attract Customers Now Live, June 21st through the 23rd. Attract Customers Now Live is about how you can make your next $10,000 online. If you go to our website and you go to purchase this event and purchase a ticket to the event, it's $500. Rich invited me and he asked me if we could create a special arrangement. So I've got a very special deal for you. So for anybody who wants to jump into this event here while we're here at this event today, I'm going to throw in some bonuses. And there's a couple of bonuses. One is the lucrative like formula. So discover how to grow a solid base of raving fans quickly and grow your list. We're also going to include the 2-day Get It Done Facebook Marketing Bootcamp. You're also going to get Does Facebook marketing intimidate anybody? Does anybody a little bit worried about Facebook marketing? Don't worry. For those of you who are a little bit worried about Facebook marketing, we've included Facebook marketing for newbies. And also, if you've ever has anybody ever purchased a book or an information product and then not consumed it? Go ahead, be honest. Yeah, you've ever bought a book and didn't read it, right? That's not going to happen because we have a weekly live webinar every single week where we teach you how to implement the tools and techniques that you learn. So if you would please pull out this sheet. So for anybody who jumps in today, we're going to give you a complimentary ticket. You can be Rich's guest. So we have a special deal just for you guys to give you a complimentary ticket. So how it works, again, if you go to our website, it costs $500 with no refund. Today and today only, you can get all the bonuses that you just mentioned plus the event, and if you add it all up, it comes to about $20,000 of value for just a fully refundable deposit of $197. So what does that mean? You put down $197 to reserve your seat. We need that because we spent $70,000 on the event. We have to pay for the food. We have to pay for your chair. When you show up at the door, you get your money back. Who likes that idea? Who wants to be Rich's guest at Attract Customers Now Live? Because this is on Rich. So thank you all very much. I'm going to take just a few minutes for Q&A. Please fill this out now, and you can turn it in the back to Jill, right? Jill? Did you guys get some value out of this? Please raise your hand if you got value out of this. All right, thank you. And is it Jill? So please turn in your forms to Jill. Thank you so much, Jill, and thank all of you very much. My pleasure.